Miami off to a big start, of course, in a much anticipated big season for them. And Mario Cristobal smashing Florida in the opener by 24 points, taking on Ball State at Hard Rock Stadium. We got Steve Merrill on the line from Wager Talk to help us break it down, Steve. And I was looking at Ball State's numbers against power competition over the last few years, Steve, and it's not impressive at all. Typically losing by anywhere from 30 to 50 points to the likes of Kentucky, Georgia, Tennessee, and they are a 36.5-point dog at Miami.
Yeah, we've talked about this over the past few weeks. You always look to lay big numbers in September. So if you're going to play it, I would lay it. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of line value. In fact, my 10,000 game simulation projects exactly a 36.5-point win by Miami of Florida on average. And that's exactly where the point spread is in this game, is 36.5. But with that said, the only way I would play this game is to lay the big number. Miami of Florida, also an explosive offense, 97 points scored in 2 games so far. A little bit of a look ahead at South Florida next week, but nothing where I think they take their foot off the gas in this game. And we talked about how those big favorites do well. One of the reasons is because the SEC has the best point spread record in September the past few years. And guess who has the worst conference point spread record in non-conference games? And that's the MAC. They're only cover about 40% of the time. Ball State is 2-0 against the spread so far this season. I'm sorry, 1-0 against the spread, because they've only played one game, and that was against, who was it, Missouri Southern, I believe, or Missouri State. And they were actually a 3-point favorite in that game. So this is a huge step up in class for Ball State. Even though there's no line value, it'd be Miami or Florida or pass for me if you're playing this game.
All right, Steve, you talked about Purdue having an odd schedule with a bye week in week 2 already. Ball State had their bye week in week 1.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know what that really helps, but the team's pretty well rested at that point, having not played a game. But Ball State had to take that on. So they go against the Canes, of course, this week. You can get Steve's work at wagertalk.com. And as he mentions on all the team channels, Steve produces segments with us across the board. So check out all the selections on the team channels. And of course, the under the radar selection at 23-5 against the spread. Learn more about that right here. College football is even more exciting with some action on the line. And the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Let's start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread. I've got a 40-year track record. In fact, in 2023, at $100 played per game, you would have netted over $9,300. And guess what? I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill, our ace in the hole, show stopper from Wager Talk. 6 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under the radar pick, which went 21-5 against the spread the last 2 seasons. I repeat, 21-5 against the spread. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Steve Dace and Matt Zemek. Become a YouTube channel member or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2024 a winner now.